Hello, I'm your host today, and welcome to the podcast about anything and everything that is video games. Hello, my name is Ethan Ryan, and I will be joined by Mac and his son Nathan. We will be discussing the controversy of video games. Video games have been a favorite pastime since the Atari came out. Kids have been obsessing over games forever. Popular games like Fortnite, Call of Duty, and Rocket League are consuming our kids' lives. On average, gamers usually play 18 to 25 hours a week. I will be speaking to both a parent and child's perspective on why kids play video games.
Hi, I'm Mac. Thank you for having us today, Ethan, and I'm glad to join you.
My first question will be, do you like video games? Why or why not?
That is a good question, sir. Personally, I think that kids these days are becoming addicted to their video games, and it is really hurting their health.
Well, sir, I don't think my dad understands my full extent of my enjoyment in video games. I think that might mainly be because he was born so long ago. So the only thing he had back in the day was his lame old Atari.
Those are both valid opinions. 91% of kids play video games, and those age ranges from 2 to 17, which is 64 million Americans that play video games.
Play video games all day.
Me? No, I've been playing sports.
Okay, that's it. No more video games for the rest of the summer.
My second question for you guys is, do you play video games on school days, and how much time per week do you spend playing them?
Well, I would love to play on the weekdays, but my dad won't let me. This goes back to my dad not understanding any of the possible benefits of video games. It serves as a stress reliever for me.
I stand by that decision because I believe that for my son to do well in school, he needs to study, and I always tell him that he can play on the weekdays once he has a job and can pay for the video games himself.
Many parents say that playing video games on school days affects their studies, but kids have been arguing for a while that they should be able to play when and whenever they want to play.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
My third question for you is, how much money do you spend on video games, and is it less or more than you spend on other forms of entertainment?
My son gets about 5 games a year, but this piles up to hundreds of dollars because games tend to be $60 a piece. For some reason, my son likes to spend all of his time on these expensive games when he could be going out to the movies with his friends.
Well, Dad, I think it's fair because you spent about $1,000 on that new TV.
Well, son, I don't know if you forgot, but that expensive TV is where you play your games half of the time.
According to Business Insider, Americans spent a record of $36 billion in video games last year. My fourth question for you is, do video games help develop skills? And what mental or physical skills do they help players develop?
In my opinion, I think that video games definitely have benefits to them. I've been noticing that my reflexes and hand-eye coordination is improving. I also think that my dad likes to look past these benefits and just focuses on the negatives.
I do look at the negatives, and if these negatives are your dirty room and you forgetting to take out the trash on weekends, and I'll have you know, I let you play whenever you want on weekends, and all I ask is for you to do these 2 things, but apparently your video games are more important.
Those are both valid points, but according to videogames.org, video games help improve coordination, improve problem-solving skills, and even enhances your memory. My fifth question for you is that children do enjoy playing video games, so at what age should a child be allowed to play video games?
Personally, I think that a child should be allowed to play video games at the age of 12 years old because at this age they are just starting junior high and they are maturing, so they can have more sense to not take games too seriously. Also, this age should allow them to be more cautious about who they play with and who they talk to online.
I agree with you, Dad, because I don't think that small children have the knowledge to be safe in a large community of online gamers. I also would like to add that I think kids can be able to play video games offline when they're younger than 12 because they do not have to worry about any of the online dangers.
Age limits on video games are a big controversy. This is because of their violent and mature content. But the average age for kids to play video games is the age 7 to 12. My final question for you is, do you think kids lose social skills because they play video games online and are not talking to people in person?
I would have to say the opposite. That kids actually gain social skills because they can be constantly talking with their friends while they play. And this does give a chance for kids to have real interactions that cannot be given on an app or through texting.
For once today, I would actually have to agree with you, son, because I do see an improvement in his speaking ability in public and in school. The only thing that video games lack is the interaction of being in person.
You both have valid points, but parents are still fighting today to put restrictions on video games because of their violent and mature content. But no matter what, video games will always be a fun pastime and a way for kids and people to come together to have fun.
Game over.
Hello, I'm your host today, and welcome to the podcast about anything and everything that is video games.